Good morning, Miss Charlene. How are you? Somebody needs to email Rose and tell her we're going live. All right. Yeah, it's cold here too, hence you see the sweats, right? Sweats, sweatpants, heaters on. I'm freezing. I got off work last night and it was just ridiculously cold. It was hot enough to have the air conditioner on in the daytime, and then it got like cold last night. It's a little early for you to be up yet, isn't it? I can't believe you're up at, um, well, it's 20 minutes till 9, so I guess, yeah, you'd be up by now. It is. It's cold here this morning. What's y'all's temp? I need to go put my toboggan on. My hair's all out of whack. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, no, it wasn't 68 here. It was in the 40s here. All right, Charlene, say something else in chat. Oh, where is you at? Ah, there it is. Go ahead. Let me know when you get back, Charlene. I know you're sharing the stream, which will bring everybody else in here. English Rose and them are still setting up at the camp, so they. C4, good morning, my friend. My little bundle of energy, that's what I call you. My little bundle of energy. How are you doing, sweetheart? Are things better? I think about you all the time. You remind me of myself because you've just been through so damn much. Uh, And what's the temperature where you are, C4? Charlene says it's 68. It was in the 40s here this morning. Warm enough yesterday afternoon to turn on the damn AC. Cold enough in the mornings to run the heat. Cold enough at night to run the heat. And then in the middle of the day around 4 o'clock it warms up finally. Charlene, when Slim comes in, he's going to get a wrench too. 53, yeah. Okay, that sounds about right. Doing a fire. Yeah, I miss those days of being at my dad's, man. We would have the fire pit up. We'd be huddled up beside it. He'd be using it to do all his wood and get rid of it and stuff. And shoot, nothing smells better than a fire. There's a gentleman that they have a Lucky E's barbecue up here, and they smoke it on the open pit. The smell, you can smell it for miles. And then the guy who works up there, he comes into the store all the time, and he told me, he said when I go home, he said I have to throw my clothes in the laundry. He said, and take a shower because I don't like that smoke smell on my clothes. And I was like, me and my dad were talking about that in Georgia, and I told him, I said, I've been addressing Stubbs. The Panhandle, yeah. It's probably I don't know though. The Panhandle is probably more tropical than it is here. So I would assume it's probably colder here than it is even in Florida. Because Florida is like tropical. It's completely surrounded by water. And so you're going to get the warm weather, the winds, everything. That girl can burn firewood every day, all year long. That's how many trees she lost during Michael. I got you. Well, the good thing is they can be replanted and regrown, so it won't be like a disaster. I decided to go live this morning because I hadn't been going live very much. Oh, stumps. Okay. Gotcha. Stumps. Gotcha. C4, are you going to try to come down to Charlene's for November this year? And are you planning on going to Ohio? Because if so, me and you might could team up and go together, as close as we are to each other. So it was just an idea. I was going to fly, but if I could find somebody to share the expenses with and somebody to ride along with. Okay, so I lost somebody. Charlene or C41 popped off. Shoot, you shared the stream and I lost people, Charlene. I lost. Ooh, okay. So it's showing I only have one on the screen. On my screen, it's showing one. So you don't have the money. Even if we shared it, you don't think if we shared the expense that me and you could do it? Of course, I don't know how far Ohio is from here, but I would assume it's no further than Texas. It may be a little more feasible for us to get you to Charlene's, and we can together do that. As a group, I think we could cover the expense to get you from the Panhandle down to Charlene's house. Hell, I'll send you the gas money to get there myself. And then I'll give you some more If we had to, we'll give you some more when we get there, but we got some ideas on some fundraisers to do while we're up there. So it is 19-hour drive from here at my house to Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, C4, I got you. Um, we could always go and get her. Charlene. I know, that's why I was telling her, as close as she is, there's got to be something we could do to get her here. How far is she from Cary? I know, right? English Rose is on board for the skinny dipping competition. Just to get to Charlene's. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. What about taking a bus? Would you take a bus if we got you a bus ticket? It wouldn't take you but a couple hours to get down there. It's about 120 to 50 each way. I'll do some research and find out, I bet you the cheapest way to do this is going to be somebody to go get her. I bet that's going to be cheaper than her taking a bus. But we can't have the November shindig without C4 being there. Come on now, she was there last year. Aruba, I hope she'll consider coming. We've got 2 Florida Patriots that I'm hoping that when English Rose goes live, we'll get linked up with today. Florida Mama Bear is in Florida, and there's another one that's in Florida. So 2 people's in Florida. They have Rose's link, though, and they subbed to her yesterday. So they should be coming in the chat if she goes live. I know it's going to have to be an annual thing from here on out. We're going to do it every year. Every year my birthday is going to be celebrated in Florida with Charlene. Good morning, Mr. Carey. Congratulations on the flag, man. That's quite an accomplishment. How about that? Awesome. I pure cried. The chat just, in Master Grifter, the chat lit up. As soon as Carrie M popped up on that screen, I knew who it was. And it felt so good for it to be one of our people, And I don't know how it all went, but I'm just so glad you won. It was awesome. So just one of them little proud moments that you can't help but get excited about. You should bring the flag with you to Charlene's in November. Or bring it to Ohio. That would be even awesomer. Carrie, are you going to try to go to Ohio? And the reason I'm asking is because you're in Florida. You're going to be coming right through Georgia if you drive. And I thought maybe we could team up together and share the expenses. Same with C4. If we could all get together and knock it down some, and we can split it 3 ways. Well, good morning, Miss Third. You're supposed to be at work. What are you doing playing on the computer, Miss Lady? You're going to get grounded. And that pie you ate cost you 2 more hours of exercise. And you're even bigger trouble because you didn't share it. Shame on you, you did not share. Oh, she's being lazy today, y'all. Third's being lazy. She ain't got nothing else to do. I know Rose is up. Did anybody message her to let her know we were live? I can't. A carload wanting to go. Right. That's what I'm saying. And I was thinking, too, that if you had room for me, I could put, instead of flying to Carol's, I could put my money in the pot and help with gas, and we could, I mean, planned in advance long enough, I could pack a cooler with sandwiches and chicken salad, and we could, instead of eating out, we could like stop at a rest stop and bring everything out and have a little picnic right there and then hit the road again, Jack. But it's up to you. I just thought it would be easier if we could all, because I mean, literally, you may not come to this area of Georgia, but you're going to have to go through or near Atlanta somewhere. So, oh, okay. So your entire family is wanting to come with you, right? Did you guys see that pie 38? It was positively sinful looking. And what really tickles me is you got someone that is like her. She probably counts every calorie, every step. She makes sure she burns everything off. And then you see her eating a piece of pie as big as she is. It's 14 hours from her house to Ohio. That's shorter. It's not shorter than Texas or to Burleson, but it was about, I want to say about a 12-hour drive it took me to get from Burleson to here, driving. Oh, okay. Okay, so in other words, you eat a piece of pie and you have to exercise for a week. How's Jeffrey? How's Mr. Jeffrey doing? Oh, that would be awesome. We're having a big shindig. My birthday, English Rose is coming. It's going to be a big celebration. Could you make it? Third and Jeffrey. Yes, that's who we need. November the 15th is my birthday. We're fixing to party hard. I celebrated my last birthday at Charlene's. Third says he wasn't feeling great yesterday, but is otherwise okay. Yeah, we're all going to be at Charlene's, and like I said, English Rose is coming over. She's going to be there. Me and Charlene have talked a little bit about the plan, so we're thinking Thanksgiving dinner, and then also too, we can strong arm Slim into grilling. And Charlene says she'll throw tents in the yard if we have to. So I don't think a good big Patriot weekend would be awesome. And I think we all need it too. It would be like awesome. So you guys, and third, are you guys planning on going to Ohio? I've met you, Brooke, and you're amazing. But I've not met Jeffrey yet. And I can't wait to meet him. Me and Charlene have determined that when we go to her house, we're going to have a skinny dipping challenge and see if it'll generate some cash out blessings too. We're going to have a good time. You got the older people, we don't care. I asked Jeffrey if he wanted to go, but he probably won't make it. What about you? Could you make it without him? Because I know y'all travel everywhere separately. So I don't want to hear the whole, well, I can't go to Ohio without Jeffrey. No, you can come to Ohio without Jeffrey. Okay, so Charlene and Slim have a wrench in the room. Or not Slim yet, because he's got to pop in here. Let's see, right now here in Florida, it would be Aruba, Seaport, Carrie, La Forgiven, Sean Sanders, and others. Um, all of them is fine. And there's two, like I said, there's two new patriots in Florida that may want to be involved. Florida Mama Bear, which you don't know her yet, and there's one more. But I reached out to one of the chats that I go to yesterday evening. I shared English Rose's link and explained what was going on in Florida. So she'll have a couple more subs and new members this morning. Good deal. Charlene says, yes, I have asked Florida Mama Bear to join me here in Palm Bay for the flag wave. Yes, I'm going to keep pushing her and see what we can do to get her and her counterpart down there. And she is often in there with Dot and Elaine, Hot Damn, the crafting lady, and then her sister Dot. When they go live after dark, when it's just talking and chatting, when I come home from work, a lot of times they're live. And so I'll sit down and watch them for a few minutes because I just got off work. So we'll get situated on that. But yeah, English Rose, me, you all need to sit down and kind of get a agenda together and things of that nature. I've got to get with Rose specifically. I've got to do I'm going to have to call her on Messenger because I've still got to get that information we talked about to her. If we got a good sized van, everyone can park here and drive straight up. The 2-person over here, one is in Tampa Bay. And see, there is just, I don't feel like there's anybody that's not going to be close enough that we can make sure you get there, is my point. And it doesn't matter if the group pays for it, if everybody chips in, you're one of us and we're going to help take care of it. So we all work as a unit and there is nothing that we won't do for each other. So there's no expense that's too great. We'll find a way. But you not being there, that's not acceptable. So whatever way we can get it done, we can get it done. If I have to send Charlene a couple of bucks out of my check for the next 3 months and make sure that we have somebody that can come and get you and that their gas money is covered, hell, me and Charlene will drive up and get you. Whatever, we'll figure it out. I mean, C4, you have to be there. You're part of the original crew that was there to begin with. And it wouldn't be right without you and Aruba there. So there you go. We take care of each other. And it doesn't matter if it's Carrie that needs it, if it's me, if it's you, if it's all of us, if it's Charlene, it don't matter. We're going to find a way. Trump boy, not Tampa Bay. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It's really hard for me to read the chat because the print's so small. It's always been that way. I'm going to have to, and when I work at the store, like on every vegetable or fruit, there's a little 4-digit code. That little damn 4-digit code is always so little that I'm like straining to see it. One afternoon I was working and it was so little I had to ask my friend Josh just to tell me the number because the number was so daggum small. So it is time for Angela to get some glasses. I've got to get my prescription filled so I can see at work. So, I wonder, Charlene, how far is Mar-a-Lago from you? I have never met him face to face. I would love to meet Bonza. Oh my God, he is amazing. And he is the cutest little thing with them long curly locks he's got. Where is English Rose? I know that heifer's up too because I've been talking to her. We should do a flag wave outside of Mar-a-Lago. That's what we need to do. We need to do a flag wave right outside his house. What do y'all think? If we take care of each other, the last option would have made better sense. Charlene knows. All right, Charlene, you might have to call me on that one. I don't know. I had her on Messenger and she just ain't answering. I can't message her on this phone because I've got the live on it. So somebody that's got her on Messenger will have to send it because I can't. If I knew where the backup phone was, I could. No, that's right. Aiden took my Messenger and stuff off. I can't even do that. So, hold on. Let me see if I can send it real quick. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. I sent her a link in Messenger real quick. It throws everything off. Slim could go if he wants to, but I cannot go to Ohio. I cannot leave Mom. I understand that, but you would be like lost if Slim went and without you, I think. I don't know. You might actually appreciate it. I don't know. Okay. So the chat. All right. Let me see somebody put something in chat to see if my chat's populating again. Okay, so I see you, Charlene. All right. When Slim comes back in, now that we've gotten a few more people, I'll explain why there's a couple of new wrenches in the room. Carol's not here yet, so she can't explain it. She and I talked about this at length. And because I'm going to Ohio, I've checked my flights. I'll update you guys on that in a minute. And I'm kind of waiting to see if Carol comes in before I get into that. But I've updated my flight situation. I know what airline I'm going to have to take because I'm not going to leave out of Atlanta. I'm going to leave out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, because it's a smaller airport and it's easier traffic. And there's only one airline that flies to that airport and will also deliver me to the airport that Carol wants to pick me up at, because Frontier Airlines will not fly into Akron, and everything else that I've checked will not either. American Airlines will go into Canton, Akron, which is where she wants me at. So beneficial all the way around, I'm going to have to take American, which I normally don't do. I normally fly cheap. But this flight is going to be different. Hate this format. Keep losing and have to refind it. What do you mean format? You talking about me having you on the upright screen? Because it will not let me do mine from the landscape view. I've tried it. They won't let me do it. It tells me to flip it every time. And I can turn my orientation on and make sure that the screen flips automatically, and it still won't take it. I have no idea why. So everybody's just going to have to understand. I'm sorry, but if I can get me and Third together, maybe there's something I'm not doing right, and she can help me. Because I'm still, like, dumb when it comes to YouTube. There her is. There's my angel right there. Good morning, Rose. I'm surprised your ears wasn't burning because we've been talking about you. I don't use Prism anymore. I go live strictly through YouTube. I don't use StreamYard. I don't use any of them no more. I'm able, because of my subs, I can finally go live on YouTube. But I am 50 subs away. No, if I'm not mistaken, I am 49 subs away from monetizing the channel, people. Oh, yeah, they should be, because we always talk about you. If anybody can email or send Carol an a PM on Facebook, PM her and let her know we are live. English Rose, did you see the short of the dog that looked like Aurora? That dog got loose from its yard yesterday and ended up at our store. Thank goodness we had a tag on the dog. And the tag had the number. So we called the number and said, guess what? Your dog... We told him, your dog's AWOL. You might want to come get it before it gets hit or stolen. So, that's one advantage I have to taking my phone to work. I can get videos and stuff like that, and people do crazy things when they walk in the store. So, just like the guy singing, you never know what you're going to get up there. So, we have got, we've been talking about the Florida trip. We are, oh yeah, I posted it late yesterday evening. It should be the last short that was loaded up on the page. I haven't even checked my stuff this morning to see how many views it's got or nothing else. But to all the ladies that is coming to Charlene's, we are having the skinny dipping challenge. Get ready. If you're bashful, you may not want to be invited to it. We're going to do it because we're crazy and we wild and we're patriots, so nothing shocks us and we're not afraid of nothing. So we're going to see who's got it and who don't. Oh, that's fine. So, okay, now let me explain the mod situation and why we've got new wrenches. English Rose has a wrench because when we go to Ohio, all of the daggum mods are going to be in Ohio unless Third's not able to go, but Third has a job. If Third is working, she maintains the stream, she listens, but she can't engage too much because she's at work, and I don't blame her. So we want to have some backup because Carol's not going to be able to mod and be up there together. So Charlene, English Rose, and Slim's fixing to get a wrench in the room. Those three people are going to be our backup mods for the Ohio trip. And I don't know what we're going to do on Charlene's trip because all of us are going to be there. So I'm probably going to have to give another mod wrench to somebody. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. We'll figure it out as things get closer. But I'm listening, waking Mom up slowly. I got you. So what we're going to do is, I don't know, I'll have to get Carol on it because every mod that has been chosen for the channel is going through Carol and myself. Carol and me are picking them, and we're putting them in here because when we get up there, we're going to need them. My buddy! My friend, where have you been, microchip? What's up? What's up, my friend? What's up? Oh my God. Oh shit. You're sick? Oh no. Oh, that's good then. That's good. How you been doing, my friend? I have sure missed seeing you. Tylenol's killing you. Have you got a cold or what? Because a lot of people up here have got colds because the weather's changing. One day it's hot, the next day it's cold. Get up in the morning, you got to have the heater. By 3 or 4 in the afternoon, it's so hot you can't breathe. So you got to turn on the air conditioner. And then before you go to bed, the heater's got to be back in. So, I mean, it's just crazy. You don't know how to dress. You don't know what to do. It's absolutely insane. Oh my God. Tylenol? How did that happen? Because I've never heard of anyone having a problem with Tylenol. I mean, was it bad Tylenol? Was it laced with something or what? Oh my God, you were in ICU. That wasn't nothing for over a month. What happened? I've always said Big Pharma medicine is poison. It poisoned my liver, and the doctor said it happens a lot. And we wonder why Big Pharma medicine doesn't ever make us feel better. We were talking about that yesterday. You just keep taking medicine. You go to the doctor. They find a problem. They say you got heart problems. They put you on all this medicine, and yet you never get better. You keep taking their medicine, but you don't ever get better. And procedures keep stacking up. They have to keep doing this and that and this and that. And you're still taking your medicine, so what good is it at that point? Went from 7 to 28, my whole body swelled up from Tylenol. That is crazy. I take Tylenol when I got a headache. I take Tylenol when I got pain in my legs. I've never thought of Tylenol ending up with somebody in the ICU. That is crazy. Crazy. I don't. I'm just, I'm to a point where I don't do medicine no more. And even if it's over the counter, oh my goodness, it happens every day. They're putting something in it then. I was on Hot Damn and Dot's chat last night, and we were talking about pharmaceuticals, and I told him, I said, it's the most legalized drug dealers there is in the world. The same fentanyl that's killing half of America is being prescribed by doctors in hospitals. It's available on the street everywhere, and it's just killing everybody. And if it don't kill them, it makes them, you might as well say they're dead. Charlene says, microchip, I will pray for you. I will also add you to Gator Girls prayer list on Wednesday nights. Yeah, I've heard people say that, but then they say that you can't take aspirin if you're on heart medicine and blood thinners and all this other stuff. And you got meds that counteract the other ones, and it's just crazy. Like a lot of your people that take blood thinners, they ain't supposed to have aspirin. So I don't know how that works. I take aspirin after my massive heart attack. So if Slim gets up this morning, Charlene, before I end the live, tell him to jump and chat long enough for me to throw him a wrench. It was a ride. I'm just glad that you are here and you're able to chat and that you made it through it. It would have been a sad day if something would have happened to Microchip. That would have been bad. So it's a blessing that you're here chatting with us, and I'm glad you're here. Remind me one more time, Microchip, where you're located state-wise. For real, he does. Because we're trying to get everybody's getting together and lining up for the Ohio rally, and everybody's getting ready to go to Charlene's in November, Oklahoma. Can you come to the rally in Ohio? Hell, because of airplanes, we could fly you to Florida too. Either way, you could be at either one of them. The one in Ohio is scheduled for I think it's July the 26th through July the 29th or the 30th. And all of that is going to be, I don't know what area of Ohio it's in, but the Ohio Patriots are coming out in droves. And the people that are RSVPing the rally are names that we know. Okay, people that we know from 1776 RM, from TPC, stuff like that. So it's names we're familiar with. I lived in Lawton, Oklahoma, Comanche County, and my best hamburger was a Mooresburger. Lawton is a military town. All right, third just popped the link up, Microchip, for you to check it out. Silly for him, good morning. How are you, my friend? I tried to call you day before yesterday just to check and see if you were alive and kicking. Obviously you are. That is awesome to see. How are you feeling, Miss Lady? Silly says she loves them hamburgers. I don't know. We've got a little mom and pop place right here in the town I live in, and it's similar to a Dairy Queen, but it's independently owned, so it's called the Dairy Dip. And I ordered a daggum double cheeseburger from them the other day, and that joker was this thick. I had to split it. I couldn't eat it. Silly says, I've been in the hospital since Friday. So we're still in the hospital. And I was wondering what, I called you a couple times and you finally told me you were real sick. And then I didn't know you got put in the hospital. But how are you doing? That's too big of a hamburger. I could cut that in half and share it with a certain coworker every once in a while. That would be good to know. I'm gonna have to make sure I get one of those while I'm in Ohio. Somebody's gonna have to bring me one of them cheeseburgers. Let me try it. See if they're all they cracked up to be. We'll see. That's good. That means you're on the general floor, which is awesome to know. All right, I'm fixing to take you guys in there with me to the kitchen. I need some fresh coffee. This has done got cold. So we're fixing to go in here and make some coffee. Y'all hold on. Oh, I hurt. Oh, God. I'm always stiff after I get off work. The next morning, my body's stiff. All right. me a second, y'all. Slim. Oh, I've been waiting. Hold on, but I'm busy. I'm making a mess. I'm not coordinated this morning. All right, Slim, I need you to put a comment in the chat, please. Coffee time, coffee time. Hold on, y'all. I'm fixing coffee. Take y'all with me to the sink. Turn on the light. There we go. I'm going to put y'all right here. Yep. Slim's got his wrench. Okay. I'll explain in just a minute. Just hang tight. I got to run a sink load of water. Hold on, y'all. Whew. All right, y'all give me just a second. I'm almost through. I'm just trying to fill up the sink. I got to do dishes this morning. Everybody's speaking to everybody this morning. That's good. All right. Here we go. All right, we are back this morning. Okay, here we go. I wish I was sitting around that fire with you. I know, right? All right, so Slim and Charlene have now got a ranch so that when we're in Ohio, we have some people that's stationary to man the chat. So we are most definitely going to need them. And this is going to be a big celebration too, because it's really multifaceted. When we have the Florida trip, we're going to have English Rose. The Florida Patriots are going to be there. I'm coming. We're going to have Thanksgiving / birthday / English Rose celebration. That's what the whole thing is about. So we are literally going to bring like 2 continents together. And that goes to show you that freedom is freedom no matter where we are, no matter where we live. Everybody has a right to do that. So we are going to have a blast. And it's going to be interesting. And the memories that's going to be made there are going to not be able to ever be forgotten. The live streams are going to be there because we're going to have streamers there that's got channels. Charlene's got a channel. Slim's got a channel. I got a channel. Aruba Dive Girl's got a channel. So either way, we're going to be on live. English Rose has got a channel. I mean, Microchip said he ain't ate for a month and the hospital food tasted good. That's like institutionalized. You're getting institutionalized, my friend. Oh man, that's messed up. Silly says, I've still got a feeding tube, so no hospital food either. That sucks. When are they going to take that out, Silly? Or are they going to take it out? Good morning, Miss Gator. How are you? Gator Girl is one of those people that if she doesn't live in Florida, she should be in Florida. Apparently she's a Gator fan, so, and now every time I see an alligator anywhere, that's the first person I think about. We are trying to get all of our crew together. We've got two rallies coming. I wouldn't say a rally. The Florida trip is not a rally. It's going to be a, what would you call it? It's going to be a hoopla. A hoopla is what that's going to be. You can't say it's a rally because it's not. We got people coming from everywhere that's going to be there. So there is no way I'm missing this. Plus, I got a birthday we're going to celebrate while we're up there. I got to be there. I'm going to fly in if I can't figure out another way to get there. Well, you're going to have to come back to Florida for this. Silly, I know I'm going to be embarrassed if I ask you this, because I should know. What state are you in again? Everybody's sick. I'm telling you, this weather is making everybody sick. And I believe it is the weather. Because when it can't stabilize, it's not hot or cold. It shifts between the day. It's terrible. It is a patriot gathering. This is true. In honor of English Rose. So, there's no hold barred for what could happen through that couple of days. There's no telling. The whole point is to keep English Rose in America so she can't go home. Black boxes. And, oh, okay. So, do you think you can make the trip to Ohio, or you think you're not going to be able to do it? Microchip said he's thankful to be alive. And of all things, he had an allergy and an allergic reaction to Tylenol. Isn't that crazy? That I've never heard of anything. I've heard of people that just like cannot handle certain things, but for them to just take 2 Tylenol and it just like wreak that kind of havoc on their body makes no sense to me. And then we need to question what the hell they're putting in it. I believe with everything in me that Big Pharma is poisoning us every day. The medication that you're taking to treat something is probably not making you any better. It's just there. and it's really not helping anything. Now, if it's pain medicine, they want you on that. They want you addicted. You know, the more people they got strung out, the less likely they are to pay attention to what's going on around them. But it's ridiculous when you can't trust the people that's supposed to be taking care of you. And silly and microchip, I would be afraid to be in a hospital now. I just would, especially with it's an election year. I'm telling you, they're fixing to bring a pandemic back and lock us back down. I believe that with everything on me. In me. Not on me, but in me. That's what I did. I did it. Now, I have to say though, C4, that even down to taking a Tylenol or acetaminophen or what is it? Motrin. What is it? Not acetaminophen. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, just stuff that's supposed to be like general pain relievers. Things that you would take every day for a headache, sinus infection. But when it all comes down to it, there is no telling what's in it. I'd rather smoke a joint. At least I know what's in that. Gator says, I am still trying to raise money to go to Freedom Corner on Memorial Weekend and the Ohio rally in July. So Florida would be amazing, but probably not going to happen. Okay, I got you. And I will meet you in Ohio, chick, because I'm coming. I've got to see if I can hitch a ride with someone in the convoy to get to Ohio, since I don't have a good vehicle and best friend anymore. Okay, boyfriend. Okay, so question. If we got you a flight, could you fly it? Could you physically handle flying? Believe, yeah, but I was trying to think of the scientific name for it. Ibuprofen. Thank you. Ibuprofen based. Somebody's screaming. Hold on, y'all. Somebody's screaming outside. Hold on. What the fudge? Everybody alive? Okay, now I'll see what the deal is. Okay, now I know what it is. No. It wasn't that kind of screaming. There's a difference between pleasure screaming and screaming just to be screaming. And this guy was screaming to be screaming, but I think he was yelling at his weed eater because he's weed eating our yard. I'm restricted from flying due to my heart failure. Okay. So we have to find a way for Silly to get to Ohio. So we need to find somebody, and I'm like geographically challenged. I don't know who could be doing that, who could come up to actually grab her. But yeah, we need to figure out a way to get her here. But that makes sense. Worst case scenario, we could put her on a train. She could get there by train or bus, but bus would take forever. We'll figure something out, because a rally in Ohio is not going to be a rally without Silly for him. You. I'm telling you. And then what's hilarious to me is how you got all these secret videos that exist of all these young people like 16, 17, 18, 19 playing sports on the field and just falling out because they got the jab. But that's not being aired. Everything's being blocked. Heart failure is high because they are messing up your heart when they give you the jab if you've had it. The people that haven't had it, I guarantee you they're trying to get the vaccine us either by the food we eat, by the shit they spray on us. They're injecting it in our meats. They're injecting it in our vegetables. GMO vegetables. There's no telling what the hell they're putting in them. And they have actually managed to like make everybody realize or make everybody believe that organic vegetables that are grown in a greenhouse are better for you than vegetables grown in your yard, which is bullshit. Your organic vegetables are what you grow in your house, in your yard, and those are going to be your best. So I'm not paying that astronomical price for mass-produced veggies. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I think I got Mom halfway awake. You need you a stun gun, Charlene. That'll wake her up. If I get a list of the people that do want to come, I can try to put out the trip advisory schedule. Then maybe we can figure out who can ride with who. That's true. That's true. So maybe what we need to do is do like a somebody needs to put a post out or a live out or no, because we need a way to collect all the names together. I don't know what we should do. Any ideas? Silly says, that's why I refuse to get the shot. I've already got all these issues without it. True that? So we've got a lot of patriots. I'm like that too, Silly. I don't have a vehicle. And I've got a friend here that used to live in this apartment complex with me. His name's Mr. Robert. I was talking to him yesterday. Where in the hell is Carol? You need to get that out. It'll wake her up for real. Who's got a Facebook Messenger that can access it without messing up the stream? Anybody that can get on Facebook. Gotcha. So with us talking about the trips and stuff, she needs to be here. Considering she's the heart of my Ohio trip. Because I'm intercepting her, she's picking me up at the airport. We got third. We've got 4 mods in the channel now, I think. Hold on. Third, Carol, England, no, 5. We got 5. And if everybody that mods is in Ohio, then we're going to have more. But see, English Rose can work in the channel when we're in Ohio because she's not going to be there. And anybody that doesn't go can man the chat. Third, however, if she is not going, she may. Good morning, Miss Deb. She may have a problem because she works. So we got to figure out. I may need one more. I just got to wait and see. Yeah, but you were always working, babe. And you can. I know you can mod, and I know you can work, and I know you can chat. You can probably do 50 things at one time. But my concern is getting you in trouble at work. That's my concern. That's what I'm concerned about, just because work comes first. So we need, I am probably going to need one more mod. And somebody besides English Rose to help her, because she's going to need it. I don't think in the Ohio people, we're probably going to get the rest of our subs and stuff. We'll be over 400. We'll be able to monetize if I so choose, but we're going to discuss that when the time is right and when it becomes an issue. We're going to decide how we do it. Silly says, I think it's strange, maybe not so strange, that my heart and lung issues were from being in NYC after 9/11, and the same health issues are appearing after C and the shots, right? And then I was watching a documentary on BitChute yesterday, which if there's ever anything that has been blocked from YouTube or Rumble or any of the other like mainstream video platforms, BitChute will have it. Okay? They don't play that censorship shit. So Yes, Gator, you have a good day. We'll get back to you on the Ohio trip and the Florida trip. Maybe we can make a way for you to be there. So, um, so BitChute is a way to find the videos. Now, you may not be able to share them to a lot of platforms, but you can find them. But we were watching a video on, shit, I forgot what we were talking about before I spoke to Gator, but let me go back up. Oh, yeah, the shots. And, you know, they were talking about how, and I've always suspected it actually, but they were talking about how, like, the new vaccines that's come out, that are coming out now, the mRNA vaccines, all of them are pretty much designed to do the same thing. And so, and they're rewriting your DNA, by the way, in case you didn't know, they are. And they say that they are the reason we have autism, ADHD, ODD, all these behavioral issues and learning disabilities with kids. That this is why we have these disorders. And that it goes back from like I think they said it was like the 1960s, 70s, and 80s when they were experimenting a lot with the meds. And that these mandatory vaccines they're making our kids have is what's causing all these learning disabilities and disruptive behavioral things that they've got going on. And coming from me who raised a child like that, one ADHD, one bipolar, and one ODD, yeah, I did the no vax quick. No medicine to treat the crap they gave them, nothing. I just, if I can't figure out a way to deal with my kid without that medication, then we'll come up with something else. They do, and some of them work better than others, but that's just like somebody asked in a stream the other day when we were, I believe it was on English Rose, they were talking about how they have like demonized and unlegalized marijuana. Well, you know why they did that, right? Somebody tell me why marijuana is no longer legal in some states. Why it was ever taken off to where it would be an illegal substance at all. Why did that happen? Clean protein will help you more than anything. One of my friends takes kratom. I don't know anything about it, but that stuff looks like it's made from plants. It's green. It's weird looking. What the benefits of it are, I don't know. Charlene, no, you'd have to join the Fed's medical program. Everyone I know that's joined. My two cousins that are volunteered after 9/11 have died. The Feds basically pay for your medical care. That's sad. I know a year ago I was watching a video on BitChute where insurance companies, if someone died of a heart attack and they had the jab, the insurance wouldn't cover the death because of what the jab does to your blood. And it's a shame, but it's true. Well, they're mass producing eggs too. As a matter of fact, that reminds me, let me go check something. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so let's talk about eggs for a minute. These come from my store. Right. So if it's malpractice because it's experimental, But they're trying to force you to put it in your body. But yet, if you die because of complications, you can't, or your family can't sue them. You know. Okay, so, all right, look, these are from my store, and this is something that was brought up yesterday. It says that I may have to turn the light on. Hold on, I can't see. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to check it. These are Alabama eggs. These are from the state of Alabama. And I can't read it. My eyes are so bad. But I was trying, they say that they'll say on the package somewhere that real eggs are hatched. Okay? Chickens hatch eggs. So it's going to say hatched or it's going to say produced. If they're hatched, they're normal eggs. But they are growing eggs in a lab. And then when they get them, the yellows are rubbery and they won't pop and break. So you can't like fry them up like normal. They've got meats coming in tainted that's being grown in a lab that's coming in and being filtered in through Mexico. And they've got them on the supermarket shelves in the countries, in the states, because we have it at our store. So be mindful of any Mexican meats and make sure that you have non-GMO meats, okay? Okay, I understand that, but I can't have free-range chickens. And the only reason I have these is because when we have a carton of eggs at work and we check someone out and there's a busted egg, they have to be pulled. Like all these eggs, there's a crack in it. One of them is. There's a crack somewhere. Actually, there's not. There ain't nothing wrong with these eggs, but these are extra large. See? And yes, brown eggs are better. Free-range chicken eggs are better. But when you live, and here I can get them because my neighbor has them. But not always can you get those. And brown eggs are better, yes. Hold on. Nuts and yogurt are good, clean protein. I love farm eggs. Proper eggs, right. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But, like I said, I just wanted to bring up the fact that when you do get eggs from the supermarket, just watch your label. If they are hatched eggs, they're chicken eggs. If they don't have hatched on them, they're probably grown in a petri dish. I'm just saying. Right. And see, that's another thing. Remember, like last year, when the eggs were so overpriced, especially around the holidays, that you would be paying like $20 for a dozen eggs? That was all done intentionally because they knew that the consumer was going to want stuff like that for the holidays. Eggs is a major ingredient in just about anything you cook. You got to have them to cook pies, cakes. You need them for some recipes, period. You got to have eggs. So if you make eggs to where they're a commodity and they're $20 a dozen, then most people aren't going to be able to afford them. And they did it on purpose because of what they're putting in the food for the chickens. 90% of the shit that they're giving all of our animals and livestock is made to make them where they won't reproduce. Why? They want a shortage. They create the shortage, then everybody gets hungry, everybody gets desperate, then they become dependent on the government. and then they feed you their bullshit. Float those eggs. Better they all float and are trash. Okay, wait a minute. Explain what you mean, microchip. What does a floating egg? Okay, is a floating egg good or bad? I've heard that too. So you want me to see if they float? They're bad. So if my eggs float, they're bad. Okay. Let's check it. Why not? We can do it live. I don't care. I got a pot right here to check it in. All right, let's see if they float. I'm going to put hot water right here. Hold on. All right, let's fill it up. No, not hot water, room temperature. That's going to be hard to do. Okay, that's going to take a while. I'll have to do a live on that. I mean, not a live, but a short. So what I'm going to do is fill this up and let it get room temperature. Then I will do a short on it and see. And we'll post it. And see what happens. Okay. All right. From now on, I'm going to put these back in the fridge. I've got, let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cartons of eggs in my fridge because of broken eggs at work. That's one thing that I don't have to buy is eggs. But I am going to look for I'm going to go and talk to the guy that's across the street and see if he sells his fresh eggs. If he does, I'd rather get them from there. I even float my fresh eggs to make sure they don't start to produce. Didn't start to produce. Okay. So I'm going to look up some information on the floating egg thing before I do my short, so I know a little bit more of what I'm looking for, but we will check it. That's an interesting thing, especially considering they came from the store that I work in. So I'm curious to know. So I'm going to let that water become room temperature and we'll check them. And so because the eggs are, if there's one cracked egg in the carton, we have to pull it. So all of the cartons with the cracked eggs end up in our fridge. That is so cool. You can candle them too and watch the chicken hatch. That's neat. I have a couple of friends that's got incubators. And, but you know, the biggest thing with having chickens is keeping them outside and then keeping the snakes out of them. And then you got eggs. They want to steal the eggs. So we're just going to have to figure it out. And see, that's what it's going to come down to. I think that all these bug out bags and all these 40-day food supply stuff is all well and good. You're going to need that. Then you're going to need heirloom seeds and things like that to grow your own crap. Now, heirloom seeds cost you some money, but they're worth it if they're legit. And the ones that I had, I paid almost $300 for. English Rose, where are you going? I love you too. Man, I can't wait to meet her. She's going to be awesome. It's going to be such a good thing. She's already awesome. All she's got, and everybody here loves her. So when she gets here, it's going to be the bomb. She should go live after she walks the dog, and I will end mine, and we'll all jump into Rose. So let's see. We got Shirlene, Slim, English Rose, Carol, and Third. We better figure. I got to come up with one more mod. One more. Oh, no, there's no telling. Stop feeding the new stuff. It's got chemicals in it. Right, and that's the best way to be. But now, what's really sad about it is if you want to get technical, you're non GMO, and I know this for a fact because I've watched my mom order non GMO stuff. Non GMO foods are going to cost more, and but to alleviate the chemicals that's in it, it's worth it. And it's bad when you have to pay more for clean food. They charge more for organic food because they got people duped thinking it's the best thing they can eat because it don't have no chemicals and pesticides in it, but it's still being mass produced and not grown in the dirt. When you grow it in a natural environment with natural sunlight, natural dirt, natural seasons, it does better and the taste is better. If you mass produce something and you cut all the fertilizers out and you're growing it in a damn greenhouse, the flavor and everything is not. How many times have you bought a watermelon off season and it had no flavor? How many times have you cut a tomato and it tasted like bland? LGD, what is that? Right, and that's what I'm saying. You use the greenhouse to get them started, but then you plant them in a garden like most people in the dirt, and you raise it up. I was raised on garden fresh vegetables. People that have never tasted something grown in a field as opposed to being grown in a lab or in a greenhouse or whatever they do. You can take a vine ripe tomato from Georgia and you can compare it to a store-bought tomato, and there is no comparison. The smell is different. The richness and the color is different. It's more acidic. There's more juices in it, and the flavor is outstanding. I need to get with her on that because by number, and this is something I've noticed and paid attention to too, that the 4-digit code that I can't read on the produce that's coming through the store, that 4-digit code, depending on what it begins with, the first number is going to tell you how it's produced. Like if it's organic, if it's field grown, if it's garden grown, or if it's mass produced, that 4-digit code is going to tell you everything. And we have a list. I've got a book at the store that has all the codes in it and what they mean. But all it tells you is like a kiwi is such and such, like bananas. The universal code for bananas is 4011. When you look on bananas and they're regular bananas, the code's going to be 4011. It don't matter what store. And it don't matter what state, the code's the same. Great Pyrenees is the best, and they will take care of the whole property. Grow your own, correct. Grow your own. And now they've got people thinking that organic vegetables are better than garden fresh. It's not. As a matter of fact, so you plant a whole field of peas. You don't want to put pesticides on it to keep the bugs out, and you don't want to put anything on it to keep the deer and the rabbits and squirrels and stuff from eating your crop. Then you're going to lose the whole crop to critters. But the reason they don't have to do that in a greenhouse or in mass production is because it's contained and it's controlled. And also artificial light, artificial growing. They're growing them off season. And vegetables in the store just don't taste as good. And Charlene says that is the same with fresh meat. They're not chemicals, no colors. They spray it. They spray it and they put stuff in it. And I have seen them actually take meat that should be pulled because it's turning brown. Just because meat has lost its redness does not mean it's bad meat, but it's getting closer. And they'll take it and put stuff on it to make it look like it just come off the cow. Microchip, you rest and take care of yourself. Next time I'm live, you make sure you're here if you're feeling better. We love you. Take care of yourself. It was awesome to see you. I'm so glad you were here. Celie was here. She's been sick. Carrie's just getting over being sick. I mean, I've been blessed. I've been blessed so far. I haven't gotten sick this year. I've had days where I didn't feel so hot, but I haven't been put in the hospital. And let's hope that continues because I don't need to get sick. I have also noticed tomato skins are tougher than they were when I was a kid. Well, if you got a garden fresh tomato, no problem. Store-bought tomato, complete waste of money. If I buy tomatoes, because I've got children that like tomatoes, I've got one that loves tomatoes. But again, I would rather go to the farmer's market and buy them in season. And the great state of Florida has got good tomatoes year-round because of their temperature. And so if a tomato comes out of Florida, I trust it. But if it comes out of Florida and it's they're fresh, they're garden grown, it's going to be a decent tomato because Florida has the weather that they can probably grow them year-round. Georgia can't. When it gets cold, the ground freezes and it'll kill it all. Florida, it hardly gets cold enough. But I'm not going to say they won't have a freeze, but it's unlikely. So that's how that works. Florida grows the best oranges. And if you eat a Florida orange, especially a Florida navel orange, that's the best orange you'll ever eat. People keep saying, well, California has good oranges. Florida has the best damn oranges. I'm sorry, they just do. Georgia has the best peaches. California peaches cannot compete with a Georgia peach. Okay? Vidalia onions, Georgia grown. That's the only state in the whole U.S. where you can get a Vidalia sweet onion is Georgia. So it just depends on what you're getting. Am I to say that peaches in California is not good? That's not what I'm saying. But when you bite into a peach, it's supposed to be fuzzy, it's supposed to be yellow, and the juice should run down your elbows. If it don't do that, it's a fake peach. Same way with the tomato. A tomato is supposed to be acidic. They're not supposed to be sweet. There are some tomatoes that are sweet, but most tomatoes are supposed to be acidic and they're supposed to be bitter. That's what makes them good. Okay? You cut a tomato for a sandwich. If it ain't sweet, if it ain't bitter, it defeats the whole purpose of eating it, to me, for a tomato sandwich. Now, if you're making a salad or something like that, sweet tomatoes is cool. I like my I'm going to tell you what, we have got some tomatoes at work, and that's exactly what they're called. They're called beefsteak tomatoes. Them bitches are that big around in our store. Tomato big enough to put in 2 palms. We were talking about that yesterday. There was a guy who bought 2. You could slice 1 slice of tomato and fill up a sandwich. You don't need but 1 slice. But that tomato still don't taste good as it should because it's not garden grown. You take the same tomato, grow it in the dirt, in the yard, whole different experience. Good morning, Tracy. I hope nobody has a black screen. It's time. It's about that time of year. And I would rather go to the farmer's market to get my fruits and vegetables since I can't grow them myself. I'm going to try to grow some this year. Let's see what happens, but I ain't planted them yet. And the reason why is because we're still having cold weather here. Does anybody else have no video? Or is it just Tracy? I feel like if people couldn't see me, they just said something. Third says, I have video. Okay. That's what I was thinking. But if a nice grilled cheese, ham, and tomato Sammy sounds good. I wouldn't put tomato on a grilled cheese. Grilled ham and cheese, but no tomato. Tomatoes are good on Georgia grits, though. Southern style grits, they're good. I also don't eat cream of wheat. We eat grits. We eat grits with salt and pepper, not sugar. Some people do. I don't. I don't eat salt on my watermelon. I don't eat salt. I don't eat grapefruit at all. I don't care where it comes from. I don't like it. Oranges, yes. Grapefruits, no. They're nasty. Okay, good. No. No. Just grits. And grits ain't good in Georgia unless you put cheese and butter in them. Salt and pepper. That's like, we are so funny about certain things. Like, you want to talk about something that'll make me return food to a store. Like fast food that I just ate. Or just paid for. Is to get an order of french fries with no salt. Let me get fresh fries from a place you eat and they don't salt the fries. I'm going to take them right back up there. I have never had grits. Well, Deb, you're going to have to come to my house and let me cook you some grits. That's like sugar. Sugar is in almost everything we eat, either naturally or they're putting it in it, or we put it in it. Sugar is the main cause of cancer as far as it's spreading. If you cut your sugar and anything that turns to sugar out of your diet, it'll starve the cancer. Why is it that every food that's on the market nearby it either is a sugar, it contains sugar, or it is going to turn to sugar? Crazy. And my stepmom has told me for years, if you don't quit intaking so much sugar, you're going to get sick and die of cancer. Well, she's got a very valid point, because when my dad got diagnosed with cancer, she changed his diet, and the cancer he had was a very, very low survival rate. But because of her and her way of thinking and the fact that they relied totally on God and his direction, my dad's here today. I make, let me see what that is. I make ugggg, which is a German sausage type food, but I have to buy my pintos online. Oh, the ruby red grapefruit. I can't stand them things. Blech. I don't like grapefruit. I don't care if it's pink. I don't care if it's regular. I'm very funny about citrus. I love lemons. I love limes are okay, but I love lemons. I love oranges, but I don't like the artificial lemon and orange flavor at all. I don't like orange flavored drinks. I don't want orange flavored anything. If it ain't real orange and real lemon, I don't want it. I don't like store-bought lemonade. I'd rather make it myself with lemons. Pin oats. What is a pin oat? I've never heard of that. I gotta look that up. What is that? You need to look it up on Google and send me a picture so I can see what you're talking about. Never heard of it. So when we meet in Florida, this time I'm gonna do some pecans. I'm gonna roast some pecans. It's so simple, and they are so good. And when you bake them in the oven and you put butter on them and salt and pepper while they cook, and then you take them out of the oven, and it don't take long, like 5, 6, 7 minutes max. When you actually eat that roasted pecan, it should melt in your mouth. And that's the way I like them. They just dissolve after you bake them. Good morning, Miss Yvette. How are you this morning? We've had a really good live stream. Some homemade what? Homemade what? I'd like to make some homemade butter. That'd be fun. And some homemade peach ice cream would be good. We could do all kinds of stuff. I want to make a peach cobbler and us make vanilla ice cream fresh to go with it. I think that'd be cool. Charlene, would you rather have a homemade peach cobbler from scratch, or would you rather have a banana pudding from scratch? I think we should do both. Because English Rose has not had the banana pudding, but you have. And we could do the banana pudding for those who hadn't tried it, and then make the peach cobbler for everybody. Charlene told me when I was at her house, she said that banana pudding is entirely too big. We are never going to eat it all. That dadgum thing was gone in just a matter of days. We wasn't there but a week. And when I left, that thing was gone. Gone. But she was worried about having too much. As bad as I hate to, I'm fixing to end this live, y'all. I've got stuff I got to do this morning. And if I do the egg test, I'll do a video. I got to look up some stuff to kind of get a clear understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing and looking for, but we're going to try it. If we do both, it's not that big of a deal. It's easy, but I figure when we do the Thanksgiving dinner, we could decide. We need to, you and I and everybody need to find a way that we can all get into a conversation together where we can see each other or at least hear each other. There's got to be something we could use to do that with. And get everybody in one place and decide what we're going to cook. English Rose is going to be there. So this is going to be like one of her first experiences with American food. So we can't have no bad cooks cooking at Charlene's. If you can't cook, you just got to stay out of the kitchen. Because the authentic taste of the food is important at this point. When she's here, I know I'm going to wind up cooking for her because she's already been talking about my food forever. So when we sit down and get in that kitchen, we all cook. Everybody's going to have their own thing that they're bringing to the table. So we can get on Jerry Robertson's panel or Gator Girl. That would be cool. That would be cool. We're going to have to get on something where we can all chime in and get everybody in one spot, and then everybody sit down and decide what we're going to actually fix. Because I want us to all chip in, and I want us all to be able to get in there and cook together. I think it'd be cool. Because, like, Charlene's got recipes for stuff I've never heard of. She saw me make a banana pudding completely from scratch, like no mixes. No mixes. I made my pudding from scratch, and then I put the pudding together from scratch, and then I made my own meringue and everything. So to me, just like anything else, when you do something naturally, it tastes better. Maybe we need to put a couple of flyers out, or either a video or short, and start sharing it around to areas in Florida. Charlene, you can't do this, but other people can. We can share it to Florida groups, people that's close to you. We can send it out and have people share it and see what we can come up with, because getting a list of people is important, yeah. Because, I mean, I'd like to see a good turnout. At this point, it's not going to kill me if I gain 10 pounds. I'm already fluffy. I can always get fluffier, but, who cares? I mean, I'm 50 years old. It's time to live my life and be fluffy if I choose to. Tracy, I flew from Texas to Florida, or Texas to Georgia, in an hour and a half. I left out of Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, and I was landing in Atlanta in an hour and a half later. So it can be done. We can get you here, honestly. And I can book you a flight that's less than $60 or $70 round trip. I mean, that's what I'm good at. Flights is my thing. I've set up several flights for people here. Hell, I paid and booked Aruba's flight to Texas so she could be in Texoma, but she had personal business to take care of, and her flight wasn't as bad, but she was a little different because she had a specific time she had to be here. But if I have an open schedule as far as like your timing, I can get you here, and I can do it cheaply. It doesn't have to be like expensive. Now me, when I fly to Ohio, I'm going to have to take American Airlines. I cannot take Frontier because Frontier does not fly into the airport that Carol wants to put me up in. There's only one airline that flies into Akron and Canton, and that's American, that I can afford. Delta, I can't even afford to even look. I can't afford to go on Delta's website and even look at the cost of planes. Tracy, we can get you to Florida. If you want to come to Florida, we can figure out a way. All I got to do is know what airport you'll leave out of, which you would probably leave out of San Antonio Airport is my guess. And we could have you in Georgia or Florida in under 2 hours and pick you up right there in Orlando. So yeah, it can be done. And I can do it economically. Because when I fly, generally, I have to fly cheap or I can't fly. But this trip to Ohio is different because Ohio is like an expensive airport to fly into and to leave out of. So it's not the cost of the flight. It's based on the area and where you're at and where you're going to. So like, I can leave out of Chattanooga, Tennessee on the American Airlines flight instead of going to Atlanta. Chattanooga's 20 miles up the road. It's easier. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to book it leaving out of Chattanooga, and I'm coming back into Chattanooga. So there won't be no going to Atlanta. I'm not going to Hartsville. I'm going to go to a smaller airport and love it. Oh, yeah. So the Florida trip, I took myself and my 2 kids, okay, two boys, round trip with Frontier Airlines. I believe our flights were like $170 for 3 plane tickets, round trip. I've flown with Frontier many times and never had an issue, except the plane I missed. But that was because of the airport that night. Do you know how long it's going to take you to drive from Texas to here? When I left Fort Worth and drove to Georgia, it took me 13 hours to get here. $170-something for 3 tickets ain't bad. 1 ticket, I could get it for less than $50. A lot of that is how long it takes you to book it, like when you book the flight itself, how far in advance. Like when I get paid next week, I get paid, I think, Wednesday. When I get paid next week, I have to book my flight to Ohio. I was going to do it last month and got sidetracked. I'm trying to catch everything up. So I put it off for a month and concentrated on the bills. And now I'm going to get my flight this week. Next week, I'm getting the flight. So that flight's going to be bought 3 months in advance because if I wait any later, I'm not going to be able to afford to go. So you have to know, because I know that it costs more to get from Ohio to here or here to Ohio, because there was a time when I looked up a flight for Carol, and it was ridiculous to fly her to Florida. It was crazy. It was just ridiculous. So, I know that if I'm going to Ohio, I've got to book it early. And being that I'm also not taking a cheaper airline, it has to be booked early. So, but yeah, we need to get with somebody so we can get on panel, get everybody together that's going to be at the Florida thing. Oh yeah, that's a long way to go. And Shreveport, Louisiana is not even Texas yet. She's probably got from Louisiana to San Antonio, she's probably got another 10 to 15 hours. Because you're going into Texas. If you cross the widest part of Texas width-wise, 18-hour drive. If you go from north to south, you're looking at about a 24-hour drive. So the state of Texas ain't no joke. Y'all have a good day. I'm fixing to go ahead and get off here. Everybody say your goodbyes. Shirlene, you and I will get together and schedule a live soon about the Florida trip. But we got plenty of time. I do want to get Ohio dealt with first. As far as I'm concerned, let me get Ohio dealt with first, and then we'll deal with Florida. I love y'all. Thanks for being here this morning. Y'all be blessed and have a good day.